What if we are not alone in time? What if the greatest mystery of the universe isn't space, but time itself? Welcome to Information World. For centuries, humanity has looked up at the stars and asked a familiar question: are we alone? But what if we've been asking the wrong version of that question all along? What if we are not alone in time? We usually imagine time as a straight line, a clean arrow moving from the past, through the present, and into the future. We are taught that the past is gone, the future does not exist yet, and the present is a razor-thin moment we can barely touch before it disappears. This idea feels natural because it's how we experience life. But physics, philosophy, and even neuroscience suggest something far stranger. Modern physics does not treat time as simple or absolute. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, time is flexible. It stretches and compresses depending on speed and gravity. A clock on a fast-moving spaceship ticks slower than one on Earth. A clock near a black hole slows dramatically compared to one far away. This means time is not universal. There is no single now shared by the entire universe. If time is flexible, then the idea of a single present moment becomes questionable. Some physicists argue for what is called the block universe model. In this view, the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, like different pages of a book that already exists in full. We experience the story page by page, but the entire book is already written. If that model is true, then the future is not empty, and the past is not gone. They are simply different locations within the same structure of space-time. Which raises a disturbing and fascinating possibility: if all moments exist, then other intelligences could exist in other times, not somewhere else in space, but somewhere else in the timeline. Imagine intelligence that evolved millions of years before humans, not only in biological terms but in technological and cognitive development. Such a civilization might have learned how to interact with space-time itself, not just matter and energy. To us, their presence might look like anomalies, glitches, or impossible events because we interpret reality through a very narrow slice of time. This idea becomes even more intriguing when we consider how little we truly understand consciousness. Consciousness does not behave like normal physical objects. It does not have a clear location in space. It does not have mass or volume. Some theories suggest consciousness may be a fundamental aspect of the universe, similar to space and time themselves. If consciousness is not strictly bound to the present moment, then awareness could, in theory, access information across time. This might explain phenomena like intuition, déjà vu, or the strange feeling that some events were meant to happen. These experiences are usually dismissed as psychological tricks, but what if they are weak signals of something deeper? Consider déjà vu. You experience a moment that feels intensely familiar, even though you know you have never lived it before. Neurology explains this as a timing error in the brain, but that explanation only describes the mechanism, not the origin of the experience. Why does the brain have the capacity to generate such a sensation at all? Some physicists propose that information is never destroyed. This idea is supported by the laws of quantum mechanics. Even when stars collapse or black holes evaporate, information may persist in some form. If information survives, then the universe has memory. And if the universe has memory, then time may not be a simple process of erasure and replacement. Now consider another unsettling possibility: what if advanced intelligence does not move forward through time the way we do? What if it navigates time the way we navigate space? To a being capable of such perception, past and future would not be destinations but directions. Just as we can walk north or south, such an intelligence might move earlier or later within space-time. To us, this would appear as time travel, but to them, it would simply be movement. This could explain why time travel, as commonly imagined, creates paradoxes in human thinking. We assume time must behave like a fragile chain where changing one link breaks everything. But if time is more like a landscape than a chain, then paradoxes dissolve. Events are fixed in the structure, but observation and interaction might still occur. Interestingly, some interpretations of quantum mechanics already suggest that the observer plays a crucial role in determining outcomes. At the quantum level, particles exist in multiple states until observed. This implies that reality is not fully determined until interaction occurs. If observation can shape outcomes at small scales, what might observation do at larger scales, including time itself? Now think about ancient myths and religious texts. Across cultures, we find stories of beings who descend from the heavens, possess impossible knowledge, and manipulate reality in ways humans cannot. These are often interpreted as gods, angels, or spirits. But what if some of these stories describe encounters not with extraterrestrials, but with entities from different points in time? Such beings would not need spacecraft. They would not need to cross vast distances of space. They would simply appear, because from our perspective, they are stepping into our moment from another location in time. Their technology would appear magical. Their understanding of cause and effect would seem divine. This idea also casts new light on unexplained historical artifacts. There are objects and structures that appear far more advanced than expected for their time period. Mainstream explanations often involve lost knowledge or underestimated ancient skill, which may be true in many cases. But the possibility remains that human history is not as isolated in time as we assume. Even today, reports of unexplained phenomena often involve distortions of time. People describe missing hours, frozen moments, or environments where time seems to slow or accelerate. These experiences are frequently dismissed, yet they share a consistent theme: time behaving incorrectly. Physics already accepts that extreme conditions distort time. The difference is that these reported experiences suggest localized distortions under normal conditions. If such distortions are real, they could indicate interactions with something that does not share our temporal frame. Now let's turn inward. Human perception of time is deeply flawed. Neuroscience shows that the brain does not experience time continuously. Instead, it samples reality in intervals and stitches them together into the illusion of flow. The present moment you feel is already a reconstruction of events that happened milliseconds ago. This means we never experience true now. We experience a delayed, processed version of reality. If our basic perception of time is artificial, then our assumptions about existence may be equally artificial. Children often report strange experiences with time memories that feel older than their age, or dreams that later resemble real events. As adults, we learn to suppress these experiences, labeling them imagination. But suppression does not equal explanation. There is also the question of future intelligence, not alien, not ancient, but human. If humanity survives long enough, future humans may develop technologies that allow interaction with the past. But even if physical travel is impossible, information transfer might not be. Sending information backward in time would be enough to influence events. To people in the past, such signals would appear as sudden inspiration, prophetic visions, or impossible leaps in understanding. This could explain bursts of innovation in human history that seem to come out of nowhere. If that is the case, then we may already be in contact with other times, unknowingly participating in a dialogue that spans centuries or millennia. But there is a deeper implication. If we are not alone in time, then responsibility changes. Our actions do not only affect future generations abstractly, they affect existing intelligences who already occupy those future moments. Likewise, our present may be shaped by intelligences who already exist in what we call the future. This collapses the comforting idea that we are isolated, temporary observers. Instead, we become participants in a vast temporal ecosystem. Fear often arises from this idea. People worry about control, manipulation, or loss of free will. But free will may not require isolation. It may exist precisely because the universe allows interaction across layers of time while preserving local choice. Think of it like this: a book can be fully written, yet each character still makes choices within the story. The existence of the book does not erase the reality of their decisions. Perhaps time is similar. We move forward, making choices, experiencing meaning while the larger structure already exists. Other intelligences, past or future, may observe, interact, or even guide, but not dictate. And maybe that guidance is subtle by necessity. Too much interference would destabilize the structure. So influence appears as whispers, patterns, coincidences, never as certainty. So, what if we are not alone in time? Then the universe is not silent. History is not closed. The future is not empty. And humanity is not merely waiting to discover others. We are already surrounded by them, separated not by distance, but by moments. Understanding this does not require fear. It requires humility. Because the greatest discovery may not be that someone is watching us, but that we have always been part of something far larger than a single moment. If you enjoyed this journey through one of the deepest mysteries of reality, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more mind-bending explorations here on Information World.